What's good, T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode 7 review. So, in this week's episode, we see Heather sit Britany down and have a conversation about what's going on in her life, okay? And Heather basically tells Britany that, we have had this conversation over and over again about how you're done with Jared and you're going to move on and this is that and the third, and you're going to focus on your rebuilding your relationship with your daughters, and you basically go back and do the total opposite. And Britany was actually kind of taken aback by Heather's comments, and she was low-key offended that Heather basically called her out on her BS, okay? And I'm not a Heather fan, have not been since season 1, but in this scene right here, she actually told Britany right. And this is one of the things that I've been pointing out ever since we learned that her daughters no longer speak to her. And I said to y'all last week that I bet that her children do not talk to her because she is the type of woman who puts a man over her children. And we find out via Britany's own mouth in a flashback that is why her daughters do not speak to her, because she has put a man or men over her daughters. And it's like, girl, why is the elevator not going up to the top floor? You over here running in behind Jared and whoever else, searching for love and acceptance and whatever she trying to find, instead of finding it within herself and rebuilding her relationship with her daughters, because that's the most important relationship that she should be focusing on. Like, I would feel like a scummy dirt bag of a woman as a mother to even be able to say that out of my own mouth, that, yeah, I have put men before my daughters. And then know this and keep doing it and basically not give two F's that my daughters aren't speaking to me. Like, Britany's slow. She's slow. I actually like Britany for the show. I think that she's quirky. I think that she's dumb as a rock. I think that she's gullible, naive. But that right there, the situation with her and her daughters, I don't get it. I don't condone it. And I ain't here for it. And she ought to be shamed. She really ought to be shamed. And it's like she's not. It's like she low-key is good with the fact that her daughters don't even speak to her. It don't seem like it bother her at all. It seems like something she brings up in conversation just to have, but in reality, she really doesn't care. Really doesn't. Because like we've seen, she has spoken about this situation with Jared more than she has spoken about her relationship with her daughter. She only mentioned it once. And then we see in a flashback scene with Heather. So yeah, Britany can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. Then we see the two husbands meet up together to discuss their altercation of sorts. Is Lisa's husband named John? What is that man name? Is his name John Barlow? Girl, don't give me the line. I'm just going to say Lisa Barlow's husband and Justin, Whitney's husband, meet up. It's very awkward between the two of them. Justin apologizes for, kind of getting a little brolic, but like he said, your wife came over there to me talking about my wife. What did you expect for me to, do? Just stand there and take it? Like I had to stick up for my wife. Lisa's husband says that he understands this, but then turns around and says, so are you going to apologize to my wife? Because I feel as though she deserves an apology. Has the Taco Bell gone to your head, Chiquita? Taquero, Taco Bell? Like, Justin looked at him like, you gotta be effing kidding me. Why do you think that Justin owes Lisa witch face ass an apology? She is the one that came over there being disrespectful to him and involving him in some mess between she and his wife. The men are supposed to stay out of it. Your wife brought him into it. And this was giving me very much that Lisa told him to say that. That's exactly what it was given. I don't think Justin is asking that on his own behalf. I mean, Lisa's husband is asking that on his own behalf. I don't think that at all. And it's just like the gall of you to even part them thin mint lips of yours to ask that man to apologize to Lisa. Like, you and her are crazy. Y'all drink too much caffeine and Mountain Dew over there. And Justin was like, I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to think about that. Justin ain't bit more apologizing that woman. Now, what cracked me up is when we saw the scene of Justin at the crib pouring out all of the Barlow's liquor. And Whitney was looking at him like, we could have drank that. It was giving very much, she wanted to be like, stop it. Yeah, we don't mess with them, but that's some good liquor right there that we're just throwing down the drain. Like, what is going on? This is super petty. Like, give me the vodka. It was so funny to me. Then we learned that Bronwyn likes to dress up in costumes when she picks her husband up from the airport because he travels weekly. So her thing is dressing up in these funny costumes to pick him up. And they show us a montage of her doing this. And it made me love Bronwyn even more. The fact that she could give 2 F's about what people think, that she's having fun with it. You know, it's keeping their relationship fresh and new. He don't never know what he's going to get when he gets off the plane. You know, it's fun. Like, that's some stuff that I would do. Like, literally. And it also shows that even though she's this fashion girl and her husband has all of this money and she's going to fashion week shows and all of this type of stuff, it shows that she also does not take herself too seriously. I mean, look at her house. Look at the way that she dresses. I mean, come on. And I just thought that that was the funniest, cutest thing ever. So her and her husband go and have lunch and they talk about her daughter possibly meeting up with her grandparents and how the conversations that they had with them didn't go like they would have hoped and how they were kind of rude or whatever to her daughter Gwen or whatever. And her husband shut it down real quick. He was like, look, you already know how I feel about this. It was given very much, she don't even need them people. They ain't been around. Let it just be that. And he shut the conversation down. He was like, I'm done talking about it. Okay, because I done told you how I felt about it. F them people, all right? Okay? And I think I said this on last week's episode. I feel like the grandparents only said that they wanted to reach out to her and build a relationship. The only reason why they did that is so that Lisa and the public won't view them as these cold-hearted, treacherous people. But in all reality, they could care less about that dang old girl. They just trying to make sure that their image stays intact because people didn't know that they were that trifling to do something like that to not only the mother of their granddaughter, but to their granddaughter. You would think that after their son passed, that they would have done anything to have some type of a piece of him. And they didn't care to reach out to that lady throughout the years. Okay? So to hell with them. And I'm with Bronwyn's husband. We don't need them. She don't need them. And Bronwyn said that her husband is like a father figure to her. He loves her and he's taking care of her. So it has to be incredibly frustrating. So Bronwyn has Heather over to the crib so they can sit down one-on-one and figure out what's the tea between them two. Heather had a lot to say about Bronwyn's home, how eclectic it is, and how she walked in. It was boo-boo on the ground from one of the dogs. I firmly think that Bronwyn obviously didn't know that that was there because I can't see her just leaving that there. I don't think that she's nasty like that, hopefully, prayfully. But Heather took that and ran with it. They sit down and right off rip, Heather is coming across condescending, like she could take it or leave it. And I'm looking like, you big wide back bitch. I cannot stand that lady. Bronwyn even was mature enough to be like, you know what? I apologize for this, that. I could have done this differently. I don't want to have a beef with you. Da 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 da. And I can't remember if Heather accepted her apologies or not. But then when Bronwyn was like, you know, you're not going to apologize back to me for the things that you've done. And Heather doesn't feel like she did anything. She just kept on getting smart with the lady. And it was like, Heather, are you for real right now? You big hippopotamus looking ass. I'm just looking at her like, who do you think you are? This bitch that lost 10 pounds and lost her ever-loving mind. Okay? Like, because she really thinks she is doing it this season. And I know that she probably is sitting at home shocked at the way that the audience is eating her up. Because she really thought that she was doing her big one, honey. And was just refusing to apologize and kept on being rude and mean to Bronwyn. And eventually was like, you know, I'm going to leave. And Bronwyn was like, okay, girl, like, I can't believe that this is how you doing this. And she even said to her, you know, I also brought you here because I'm planning a trip with the ladies. And Heather was like, oh, so this was an opportunity for me to dance for my supper or whatever. Basically, this was a make or break if you were going to invite me. And pretty much, yeah. And you proved her right of why she should not invite you. So Heather ended up leaving or whatever. And what really was shocking to me was Bronwyn ended up crying after Heather left. And she said in her confessional, something that was very shocking to me, that Heather's refusal to acknowledge her wrong triggered the thought in her mind about people not accepting her not being accepted. And it made her cry. Because it's just, I guess it's a thing with her, like, why doesn't this girl like me? What did I do to her? Why is she being mean to me? And I'm happy that she didn't, of course, let that show in front of Heather, that she broke her in that moment. But I'm like, girl, fuck Heather. Meatloaf looking ass. Girl, forget her. She ain't nobody. You don't even need to be friends with that bull. Where's the beef looking woman? Like, forget Heather. Heather wishes that she could be you. Heather does not like you because you're likable, you're fashionable, you're rich, you're married. All the things that she wishes that she could be, child. You do not need her friendship, okay? Do not need her friendship. And you don't need Lisa's either. And I'm so happy on next week's episode, she finally gonna give it to her too, okay? I'm gonna give this week's episode of Salt Lake City a B plus. This was the first episode so far this season that I did not give an A. It wasn't a bad episode by far, but it was kind of a little bit like a filler episode of somewhat, because next week it looks like we're gonna get back in the A territory, okay? Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. What did y'all think about Heather in that episode? Let's talk about it down below in the comment section. If you guys did not get a chance to look at my behind the scenes tea video on Jazzy from the Real Housewives of Potomac, make sure you do that, because I found out a lot of tea and information on her engagement, honey. It ain't all what it seems, all right? Yes, please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know when my videos drop. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.